Thank you. Just curious for your thoughts on Sergio Martinez's victory over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Well, it was a one-sided fight with some closing drama. If it had been a street fight, Chavez might have gotten the verdict because he finished stronger and beat up the other guy in the last round. But it's not a street fight, and the other 11 rounds count. And it also, I think, highlighted the impression that Chavez Jr. Might have done better if he was a guy who trained really seriously.
Before the fight, in the weeks leading up to the fight, what was your impression on the fight, and how did you think it was going to play out?
Well, I thought that Martinez was the right guy to be favored, but that Chavez, being bigger and younger and showing that he had a hell of a good chin, couldn't be dismissed. But the fact that he couldn't pressure Martinez enough in the early and middle rounds to make the late round to give him a better shot in the late rounds is what was telling.
Okay. Now, Bob Arum had said initially, he might like the idea of a rematch, in Cowboys Stadium maybe. So, Sergio Martinez he suffered, broken left hand and some torn ligaments in his right knee. I mean, what are your thoughts on a rematch? Could it be any different, or what are your thoughts?
Well, they could show the 30 seconds or so when Chavez was beating up Martinez in the last round 1,000 times or 100,000 times and sell the fight, probably. From the point of view, could they make it work? I mean, Cowboys Stadium, sounds like a joke. But it sounds like negotiating for the best, to bring it back to Las Vegas where it drew 19,000 people. Now, maybe, look, I'm not in the promoting business, and Aaron has proven he knows a lot more about it than people in the media, and maybe, to me, it would be like a big con that worked. Wouldn't be the first time it happened in boxing.
Okay.
Could it be different? Yeah, I mean, look, Martinez is an older, if not old fighter, and he's had injuries he's got to overcome, and movement is a very big part of his game, with his kind of improvisational, athletic style. So, those questions will be out there. You can see the narrative building. Will the old guy still be able to move? Will Chavez Jr. train harder? Will he be able to put more pressure on earlier in the fight. You see that coming, but based on the first fight, I don't know that that Chavez. I don't know. Would you want to see a rematch after the first 11 and a half rounds?
Not particularly. But let me ask also.
But that's fight biz, and if fans would buy that and buy the narrative, and I'm sure, from my point of view, I'd want to see if there's a rematch, it should be after they each fight again against other people. But that's from my perspective, not necessarily from the fans' perspective or the promoter's perspective.
And Martinez, he also mentioned, I read an interview, he actually is open to a fight with Miguel Cotto. What are your thoughts on that fight?
Look, he'll fight wherever he thinks he can make money, and that's the business side of the game. We get that. I think Cotto is more likely to, if he can get past his next fight, it seems to me he'd be more likely to fight